he was called away in an emergency. So we just have a few topics to discuss this evening. I hope everyone has been doing well. It's been a while. Hi, Celeste. So it's good to see you guys. We want to talk about. I want to start the conversation off with the 5G polls that we see. Well, we don't see the polls, but it looks like there's some sort of prep work. And I know there was a concern with the community as to what is going on. No kind of alert or discussion or heads up. So the DOITT, which is the Department of what is it called again? Information Tech and Telecommunications. They're not going to be with us tonight, but what we'd like for you to do is send your questions in to the office, CB8 office. You can also CC Rob and I, and that way the office will make sure that they will get to the agency, and hopefully we can get some answers in a prompt fashion. So far, that's how we're going to proceed with that. Also, I just want you to be aware that there's a co-naming applicant that's coming on board. We're just waiting for some information. And the street in question is on Classen and in Eastern Parkway. And the person, this is a resident that has passed on. I mean, that's the only way you can have a co-naming. And her name is Bertha May Vaughn. So she's one of the longtime residents. There's, I guess, been an anchor in her tenure as a resident in that part of town. So her family members are trying to, they want to submit her as someone to be honored and to be co-named along Classen and Eastern Parkway. The other thing I wanted to mention with where we're trying
Uh-oh.
You're freezing. You're freezing. Irsa?
Yeah. I'm freezing?
Irsa?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We missed what you said.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. So I'm not sure what you didn't hear. When did I stop not being clear? Was it
the co-naming? Her family wants to co-name Classen
okay.
Eastern Parkway.
Yeah, so that application is we're still waiting for some pertinent information to make that application complete. So this lady has been a long-time resident and apparently a anchor and in the community on Classen Eastern Parkway. So her family members want to submit her name in consideration to have her co-named, and her name is Bertha May Vaughn. So we'll look forward to have that when they're prepared to submit. The other thing I wanted to mention also, we had a meeting yesterday. Mark Thurton, the safety chair, just had this wonderful idea to really galvanize the block associations. It was great for the presidents of these certain blocks, as well as neighbors that also support the block that they're on, and also for people who are interested in developing a block association. That was really good because we do understand that the power in numbers are effective. So we wanted to be able to have that first meeting, and maybe Mark can speak more about it. But it was a successful meeting, and I think it's really important that we come together, because most of the issues that were discussed, because sort of like a round table, who they were, what block they were on, some of their challenges, their issues, and the successes, things that they do annually that they look forward to for the community, and in some cases with the kids. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity as a community to be able to submit our requests in numbers. So I thought it was great. And I don't know if Mark, you wanted to speak any more on that for our committee.
I think you covered everything, but yeah,
Okay.
it was very productive yesterday. We had about 16 block associations that was involved, which was pretty good. That was over in Crown Heights area, and we're looking to expand going towards east. We're gonna have to we'll in reference to the expansion, we'll be doing word of mouth or touching base with the neighbors. We're gonna also be working with the community board, working with their list that they have, and reach out to other block associations, and also expand it into the tenants associations and assist block associations that's not functioning well, or also assist them with creating block associations. So we'll see how it goes. And it was a great start yesterday.
Indeed. So that's basically
I have a
what we
question.
have. This is more. Oh, yes. Who has a question?
Debbie.
Celeste? I'm Debbie. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll learn how to, I'll grow up a little bit and put my questions in chat in the future. By chance, was Lincoln Civic Association in attendance?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Good.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Seems like he has a few.
Hi,
blocks.
can you hear me? Oh, this is Miss Kenzie. Hi, Ursula. Hi, Deb. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
Hi, everyone. I just, once again, I have to call in because I'm mobile, but I was curious to what took place yesterday. I hear Mark talking about it was a good turnout. What happened?
You want to repeat, Mark?
What we did was we had a Zoom meeting. It was mainly for block associations that we were familiar with, myself and Lynn and Shirley Monison, block association that we was familiar with, just to get the multi-block association started for the Crown Heights area. We had about maybe 50 block association representatives involved in the meeting. It was covering from Rogers going over to Albany, from Eastern Parkway to Atlantic Avenue. And those were the participants. And as time goes on, we look to expand it more toward going towards the eastern section of Community Board 8 and get more of the block association involved, and also expand it out to, as time goes on, to the tenants association.
Oh, that sounds great. Who's heading that up?
I started it up, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm quite sure it's going to go well, because we had a lot of positive feedback on the call. So we'll expand as it goes on.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mark. So please don't forget to include me next time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, because I have my association.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So this was pretty informational. So are there any questions or anything, or any of the business that you want to discuss, bring up, concerns?
Well, I have one thing I'd like to bring up. It was something that I had mentioned at the last meeting about a turning signal, on Eastern Park, from Eastern Parkway onto New York Avenue. And I've learned since I walked over there that they do have it's up. It's not working yet.
Yeah.
It's not working yet, but there is a turn signal.
Oh, that's good. Some progress.
Yes.
I think someone even mentioned that yesterday too on the call. So yeah.
I wanted to ask if other people were having issues with the street sweeping only coming through once a week. We're having a problem on our block where the leaves, if they're not coming regularly, the leaves, you know, gather on top of the catch basins, and we had this massive flood the other night when there was the storm coming through. So has anybody else had this same situation with, I know the street sweepers are only, they're coming 1 day a week, which I'd be thrilled to have them come 1 day a week. I haven't seen them in like 3 weeks come down our block. So has anybody else experienced that?
It was mentioned on yesterday's call with a few block associations that there is a concern. Not some of them. It's not that they don't come down. With the problem that some of them be happening, and that's including my block, is that with the quantity of cars that we have now, my portion is the latter portion of the street sweeper. When he comes around, I'm normally at the tail end. And by the time it's 10 o'clock, they're supposed to be moved. They're supposed to be moved back over, but people start moving them back over by 9:20. And the problem is, by the time the street sweeper comes down, all the cars are already parked there on a couple of the blocks, so the street sweeper can't really do his job efficiently. That's what we're having in our area, that's. I mean, unfortunately, we had to come and do a group cleaning at one point, but it's two sides that's a concern. But yeah, we do have that concern in the area.
Oh, so Mark, that sounds, I'm Michelle George, District Manager, Community Board 8. So that sounds like it's not a sweeping, it's not a sanitation concern. That's your neighbors moving their cars too soon. So sanitation has been trying really hard not to enforce it, not to issue summonses.
Right.
So either they issue summonses to enforce it, like it's twofold. So once they start enforcing again, folks will complain. They're getting tickets. So we have to really figure out what it is we want here.
Hello. Hello, my name is Melissa. I am not part of the board member, apparently, but I see that I was informed this meeting was open to the public, and I just want to first and foremost thank you all for the wonderful work you're doing, and I'm excited to be here. It's my first meeting. And I just want to echo the sentiment that, and I'm so sorry, I see Stern.
Yeah, hi, my name is Celeste.
Oh, Celeste, sorry.
What's your last name, Melissa? Melissa?
Worrell. Oh, I should have put that. Yeah, Worrell, Worrell. And yeah, I have also been experiencing that too. And I understand that part of it is the neighbors, but sometimes I have seen where sanitation, and maybe rightfully so, has done some enforcing and has issued tickets. But when you look, it's just like, okay, you know, the problem still persists where the leaves really aren't being swept up properly. And then I just had one other question. It was regarding the DOICT. So I did have a couple of questions that I would like to submit about that. I heard that I should email the office, but I don't know the office's email address.
Can you?
Brooklyn, spell out Brooklyn. B as in Charles, B as in boy, the number 8 at gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat. BrooklynCB8 at gmail.com.
Great. Thank you.
Melissa, I just want to welcome you to the meeting. We hope we see you again and again. Just to let you know, my name is Irsa Weatherspoon. I'm the co-chair of this committee, and Rob Widowax is our co-chair. So welcome again, and I thank you. I also I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to get back to that subject with regard to the 5G poll. When you submit your questions, please do it by Thursday. Okay, you could do that. That would be appreciated. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to add or have a concern?
I raised my hand.
Oh, hi, like this?
Yeah, no, I put it in the chat.
No, it's okay. I'm just joking.
I'm trying to grow up. I'm having a hard time here.
You're doing a great. It's good. It's all good, darling. Please, Miss Deborah Young.
I wanted to go back to what the discussion was about the streets and the parking and the leaves, and I just want to say this might be something to galvanize with the block associations. because there are so many different challenges that so many of us are facing. But as it was pointed out, that we don't want to push something that is not going to work in our favor. But if we could work amongst our block associations to do better, and it has to be a collective effort. And I say that because there are often times that people who park on your block and don't move their cars sometimes don't live on the block. So they might live on another block that might have a block association. So if we cascade it out amongst everybody, then we stand a better chance of trying to get the cooperation of the community at large. So that's what I wanted to throw in.
Thank you. Hi, Bobby, you just arrived? Thought I saw his name.
Hi, yes.
Hi,
My first meeting in a while. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you. Bobby's actually at the meeting yesterday, and what we do. I think we discussed a couple things, Bobby. We a pretty good meeting, and Mark's here as well. And we also talked about the issue of the 5G poles. We weren't going to have a meeting, or at least DOITT was not going to be joining us, but they're happy to answer any questions we may have. So any questions that you do have, please send it to the office, CC Rob and I, and if you could have that in by Thursday. So that was basically it. So does anyone have any other questions or concerns they want to bring up at this time?
I just had one last question, actually. It was in regards to the turn light on New York Avenue and Eastern Parkway. I don't know if a timeline was provided as to when that will actually be, I guess, running or working.
Well, this is a project that's been going on for a while in terms of making those turning bays with the accompanying lights. So we don't have a date when that would be solidly placed. That's just, we're basically waiting on them as they continue in their process.
But I can look into it. I'll reach out to DOT and see if they have an activation date. I'll look into that tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And just to follow up with the street sweeping, is it ever coming back to 2 days a week, or have you heard if it's just going to stay at 1 day a week now?
I think it's going to stay at 1 day a week as long as COVID still exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
No plans to return it to normalcy. No. Not at this time.
And if they don't come down,
Excuse me.
if they don't come once, is there, I went on 311's website, but I didn't see a place to submit a complaint that the street sweeping had been missed. Has anybody ever done that?
Okay, I can give you BK8 Super's information, or BK8 Sanitation Garage, and speak to the superintendent. He'll make sure the truck circles back around. Also, if you see them come through and they don't have water, because each block is supposed to have water, it's supposed to be water. If it's no water, that means they're not filling up. They're supposed to stop at a hydrant and refill when it gets low. A lot of times they don't do it, but they're supposed to do it. So if you see a truck that comes through your block and the street's not wet, I'll give you the super. You call him up, he'll make them come back with the truck wet. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Janet, were you trying to say something?
I just wanted to say on my block, the cleaners are coming, the street cleaners are coming down twice a week, Thursday and Friday.
What's happening?
Sporadically, but they do come down twice a week. Because I understood the ruling that the city was announcing on the TV that it would be the last day of the last day on the sign for that particular slot. Like we had what was it, Monday and Thursday. So we would take Thursday, and then we had Tuesday and Friday, so it would be Friday. So we get a back-to-back appointment, kind of. So everybody's moving their cars from one side to the other on Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
Oh, I have a suggestion.
That's Gina.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Ms. Collins. How are you? I have a suggestion in reference
I'm good.
Good. I have a suggestion in reference to all of the leaves. So what I've noticed is multi-dwellings as well as some homeowners, they're not sweeping their leaves. So we know about all the budget cuts. And then you have a lot of residents across the city that's actually just chipping in together to try to keep the front of the properties clean as well as the curb. So if the sanitation isn't showing up and the leaves is clogging up the drain, that may mean maybe even Mark, if you could see if they have a block association, but everyone have to chip in. I mean, if the sanitation wasn't even coming that one day a week, what are we going to do? So I think more people, can step up and try to keep their street clean, even as far as to the curb, if need be, to try to avoid bad situations like the drains being clogged. And then we all know what happens with leaves when they get wet. They become very slippery. Now, I'm not blaming or saying anyone on this call isn't doing their part in terms of cleaning, street cleaning, or getting up their leaves. I'm just saying what I've witnessed since the leaves have been falling and since the budget cuts.
Absolutely, right. I totally agree. Well, by law, homeowners are supposed to sweep their sidewalk, including 18 inches into the street. That's the law. So you can get a ticket if you don't clean 18 inches into the street. So you're absolutely right, Miss Kinsey.
Can I add something to that?
Janet, sure.
Yes. They don't. The city won't give you a ticket if it's just leaves, though, on your sidewalk. They'll give you a ticket for it if it's debris or paper, but they won't ticket you if it's just leaves.
I bet though, if somebody slips and falls,
well, I'm just adding that, just
I know,
so people know.
I understand. I'm just adding to just, it's best to be proactive. You may not get that ticket, but you might get a lawsuit. So.
Yeah, and it becomes bad, the leaves, and then you have the dog poop and everything mixed in the leaves. I think, and then you have a neighbor who may sweep, and then here comes the other neighbor leaves just continuously blowing, back down the street.
Right.
I think everyone needs to step up. How we can make sure everyone steps up, especially on nice tree-lined blocks with different homeowners. I don't know. And the same thing with these supers and these multi-dwellings. They don't feel they have to do nothing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Elise? Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Regina. Elise, I just want to ask you, what block are you on?
I will put an update, a reminder on our website. We'll do an e-blast reminding people to clean up 18 inches in the street, help clean up the leaves. I'll do that tomorrow.
Great. Thank you, Ms. George. Melissa, what block are you on?
So I'm actually on New York Avenue between Sterling and St. John's.
Okay. All right. Great. Anyone else?
Yes, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Two things. On that Eastern Parkway project, were we able to send out an email to the DOT in reference to the completing the eastern portion of that project, especially over by Rochester and Buffalo?
Yes, we did, but we didn't get a response in time for this meeting.
Okay. We're gonna do. You guys gonna follow up on that, or do you want me to touch base with them? Or
No, I'll follow up. I'll follow up.
All right, because I don't think they like my emails too much. So.
I'll follow up, Mark. Thank you. Your emails, you got it's nice, nasty. You can't just go in and attack. You don't get a response that way.
All right.
I'll follow up, Mark.
Okay. In reference to leaves, what last month what happened that resolved the issue, unfortunately, in a way that they did come down and they did issue a bunch of tickets because people moved their cars instead of it was up to 10 o'clock and they started moving their cars at 9:20, and they got upset with it and they came through and they gave out a bunch of tickets at 9:30. I tell you what happened the next day, and that next week, they would that street sweeper came on through without a problem.
No problem.
Unfortunately, sometimes it may take that, but that is a lot of the problem. And also, as someone was saying, maybe the block associations do need to make a call out, say, hey, why don't we just get together and clean the street? But again, that's not our, we're paying taxes for the street sweeper to come through. Which way are we going to do it? So, they can do enforcement, but when enforcement comes through, people respond, though, unfortunately.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. Anyone else?
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing with that, with the 5G, are they going to be doing another presentation, or everything is just going to be sent out to emails to them?
Well, Michelle, you can chime in, but I know just right now
At this
we're
time,
submitting
at this
questions.
time,
Yeah.
they don't even have. I don't think we're seeing the 5G poles being installed because we had a meeting and they didn't even have a vendor yet. So you may be seeing some poles going up, but I don't think they're 5G poles just yet. I don't think they're 5G poles. So it may be the 4G, but I don't think it's 5G because a month and a half ago, they didn't have a vendor. And it's a process before the actual 5G poles. It's a little lengthy process. So I'll inquire, send me your questions. I have a few of my own, but I don't think they're 5G poles that you guys are seeing. I think they're new 4G poles, but not 5G just yet.
Wasn't there some sort of earlier I'm sorry, wasn't there some sort of earlier communique in terms of they're not even knowing, and Celeste did some digging and saw that, there was something there. Wasn't that something like that? Similar?
So they're changing out, some vendors are changing out their 4G poles. So you're seeing smaller or different 4G poles going up, but they're not the 5G poles.
Okay.
They're not the new 5G just yet, but there are some newer 4G poles that are being installed.
Okay, and that could be a possibility of what that is.
Yeah, that's what that is. It's not the 5G just yet, but I'll get timelines and all that as it moves forward.
Great. Thank you for that. Okay, anybody else? Any concerns, questions? Okay, well, I thank you all for coming. It's good to see you guys. It's been many, many months. And I just want to wish you all a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And we'll see you again. But, even in between visits, please, if you have any questions, just email or, any concerns, just let us know. Okay?
Thank you, Eartha.
Thank you, Eartha.
Thank you.
Everybody, happy Thanksgiving.
Come back again, Melissa. Come back again. Join us.
Yes,
And most
Melissa.
thank you guys.
Welcome
You've been so inviting. And happy Thanksgiving to you all too.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Good night.
Okay, good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay.